Okay, how is China compared with other economies? We use something, firstly, I try to put China back to the so-called East Asia model. Maybe some people have been working on that model. So East Asia model basically, covered in the past, typically Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. So Japan actually started from this period. So we should ignore the first line. Okay, so let's concentrate on the income from PBP 2000 and double that to 4,000, and then again double it. There's two income doubling, and we use the measure is Angus Madison's 1990 PBP price, PBP dollar in 1990 price. So for these two periods, actually, basically, it is a very important period for you to finish economic takeoff. So you finish takeoff, so you know something like your airplane's leveled. So it's not yet really into the cruise level, but certainly the most difficult part you finished. Okay, so we see China by this time, so exactly what I mentioned, this is now actually. So if you ignore the COVID, so we go back to COVID. So by this time, so this is what China finished. PBP, $8,000. So equivalent to the Japanese in 1968. Some people have a slightly different measure. They say 1970. That's fine. So basically, you have one doubling, something like from 7 to 10 years. It's already very fast growth for any economy. And then this is Korea, this is Taiwan. So you can tell to finish this green framed period, roughly 15 years, nearly 15 years, 16 years, and I'm sorry, 20 years, 19 years, and 23 years. So China actually was a bit slower. All right, so to see here, this is a kind of a projection. So assuming that no COVID shock and assuming China would follow Japanese growth rate. So this is what we can see. Maybe by 2028, if everything's okay, and then so China could finish 12,000. If you convert 12,000 to the current dollars, US dollars, so China by that time is actually become a high income country. So if that is materialized by this prediction, so China's, of course, going to be an even bigger giant economy. All right, so I use this one, so don't worry if you cannot read the details. I try to show you that. So if you just control, don't control the stage of development. So that one is actually, so you can tell that. So they are all different time, right? We control the stage of development. And this one is the same time. Anyway, so you can, if you like, you can work into this. So why you allow them to be compared in the same time. But anyway, so let's see. For this period already, China was the best, one of the best, not that. So Russia was better in terms of productivity. I don't know if it's due to oil prices or anything, but the price effect should be removed. I have no idea here. Maybe Bart. And India, same as China, and on average, these BRIC economies actually very close to China. So back to that period. And if you move to this one before COVID, for this period, so China was not that superior to many other economies. So you can pick up here China's negative. Of course, this is a group. This is G7, right? Without Japan. So also negative, but here is not, right? So the East Asia without China is not. What I mean here is, so put China in a kind of international comparison. You're back to the East Asia model, or currently, certainly for the last decade, the Chinese performance actually is indeed kind of declining. Okay, so this one, if you would like to rate, so you should rate, with connection to the stage, because I control the stages. I try to show that, okay, I try to show that, so if we use official data, what kind of results, and basically, if we see the very last decade or 12 years, from the end point, so this is the Chinese performance. If we use alternative data to estimate, it's negative TFP. This is the contribution, you make 100, right? But if you use the green line, remember, at the beginning, so that is based on standard theory and approach, you still get negative, but you use official data directly. This is the conference board, official, that kind of version. So gave you this one. It's quite in line with the previous, the other three economies, but the capital and the labor share are very different, right? That's something will cause a lot of discussion.